For about $20, you yourself can welcome a family to your community too. All you need to do is just get a tub like this. Inside it, you can put a pillow, toiletries, a first aid kit, maybe a water bottle and some Kleenex. Probably about crossing number 3 here on Spicewood Springs. This is north of 360. The apps won't show it, but this area is actually a no deploy zone for those scooters. Friday, it was up to 183 versus a 2, mind you, and then up to a 387. You could walk on it just about an hour and a half ago. Now you can see it is completely covered. That's because this river's risen already at about another foot. You're gonna see some wind kind of knocking my camera here a little bit up. Now I wanted to step out of the shot really quick so you guys can just see the wisps of rain coming by here, the sheets of rain. Just down this road about a block is more than 100 homes that had to evacuate early Sunday morning. I'm getting a little photo bomb here from a guest you'll hear from here in just a second, Alexi Lawless, an MLS Hall of Famer here. Yes, the announcement here this afternoon, see, there he is right there. And joining me here briefly is Alexi Lawless. You are a Hall of Famer in soccer. You did a lot better than I ever did as a midfielder.
All right.
And
you got much better hair. Look at your hair.
Well, it's the hair dryer.
Gorgeous.
For you, what does it mean to see a 27th team open up here and grow roots here in Texas?
Well, look, I mean, we talk about specifically Austin.
Thank you so much, Alexi Lawless, and also great inspiration for kids to start now and get moving through. Again, the teams will start here in 2021 with those camps now starting this summer with 30 spots paid for by Austin FC. This is really the only way that they can tackle this fire right now because this is a very hilly area. It has no road access. This is all private land. Heather Pavey sees her world through her white cane. Every step guided by the ball at the end. Memorizing sidewalks and crosswalks is crucial. Now, they're dotted with dockless scooters and bikes.
I see them every time I go downtown, probably at least 2 to 3 times a week.
Pavey is deafblind and spoke to me through an interpreter service. She'll never forget the first time she found a scooter blocking her path.
And of course I was curious. I was trying to feel around what it felt like. I was kind of trying to see what it was like, trying to understand what this was. It was a new concept for me.
Pavey says they're now all too often in the way, which is why the city's Jason Redfern says everyone should be mindful of others.
If they're walking by and they see something knocked down, if they could pick it up and upright it too.
To help manage the 13,000 or so scooters on Austin streets today, the rules are allowed to morph in real time, namely creating no deploy zones, preventing companies from staging their scooters in certain areas.
Or there's just really congestive behaviors, we can establish an area for a no deploy zone.
The apps won't show it, but this area is actually a no deploy zone for those scooters. That's because it's home to the Texas School for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
You have to provide at least 3 feet of walk space, so there are going to be sidewalks in the built environment that just can't support the dockless scooters.
Redfern says what he wants to stress the most is proper etiquette, making life easier for everyone, including Pavey. This is the Travis County Search and Rescue Team, which was brought in today to assist the Austin Police Department in combing this area and bringing in their canine units as well. A warm embrace brings comfort to Mitchell Gutierrez on a day he wishes never came.
I'm trying to not think of the worst case scenario for my mom, but it's really hard not to at this point.
His younger brother Martin has been missing since Sunday night. They parted ways after dinner downtown. That's when Martin headed to Rainey Street to watch a football game with friends.
I was just telling him bye. I'm like, I'll see you later, man. Like, you know.
Martin never made it home. By morning, Mitchell knew something was wrong.
He's a victim of routine. We're so boring. Like, we just go to work, we go to the gym, we come home and eat.
By air and on the ground, Austin police covering every square inch of this part of town, searching for any clue.
We've gotten some great tips from the public that we're working on right now, but right now we're just going on location.
Alongside APD, Travis County Search and Rescue, their dogs using Gutierrez's clothes to track any scent of him.
They are tremendously talented in what they do in finding folks that are missing.
We try tracking his phone, getting into his bank statements, his credit cards, Uber, everything we could find. See, maybe he got a Lyft or something.
Kind of vague, but this is what we're just putting around.
Friends and family on the streets too, circulating flyers of Gutierrez, hoping the smallest clue will lead them to him. Now, Gutierrez is 5 feet 8 inches tall. He's 160 to 150 pounds with short black hair. You see him here. His brother says the dimples are iconic and anyone would be able to recognize him. He was last seen wearing a black Patagonia jacket or fleece along with a light green shirt and dark blue jeans, as well as some gray Vans brand shoes. If you have any information about this, call 911. The family is putting up a $5,000 reward for any information leading to the whereabouts to help them find their son, especially before the holidays. We're live in downtown Austin. Jeff Stensland, Spectrum News. I'm using a hand towel and a soda bottle that I cut in half here, and then a string that I attached to the handle here on this outside faucet. Now you want to wrap this up because it is exposed to the elements and really kind of inviting all this cold air inside the house. This is going to act as kind of that winter coat over it. So I've got it nice and wrapped really, really tight. And then I'm going to take this soda bottle. If your faucet needs more room, you can use a milk jug like my dad taught me how to do. And really, this is just going to kind of hang on here throughout this entire cold snap, really throughout the whole winter, in case you forget about it next time. You'll hold it in there really tight, and then just kind of twist this cap on with that string pulled out. Oh, there goes the cap. See, Steph, we can't have it always be perfect, but it's close enough. And then this will just twist on there. It'll stay on there until springtime when you need to use this again. If you have this hose connected to that, just think about that. It's kind of like putting your arm out. You're going to be bringing all that cold air into your home, just like your arm would be bringing all that cold air into your body. So this is really one way to kind of help protect it, wrap it up, and get it all bundled up here as we kind of go through this cold snap a little bit longer stuff. These teens didn't know Bob Goolsby before they arrived at his North Austin home, but they knew he needed their help.
I'm amazed. I hardly what to say.
Mr. Goolsby is a 95-year-old World War II veteran. He's lived here 45 years. He and his wife, Jewel, say in recent years, work around the yard simply became too much.
I planted every tree that's out here. The only one that was here was this one, and it was about as tall as me.
A family member reached out to us asking for help, and that's kind of what we do. We protect and serve, so now we want to serve and give back to our community. Officer
Marcus Davis leads Austin Police Department's Explorers program. He thought these future officers would jump at the opportunity to lend a helping hand.
There was a lot of trash back in the backyard and a lot of leaves.
They hauled away 3 dumpsters of trash and got the yard back to how the Goolsbys always wanted it. Perhaps even better than they ever imagined it.
To see their face whenever it's done and they see our work and how we're doing it as a team, it's just exciting and makes me filled with joy.
I tell you, it's great to see all the people to come out here like this and do this for an old person like me.
On top of a spruced up yard, Mr. Goolsby learned he has a free trip to Washington, D.C. Honor Flight Austin will take him to visit the World War II Memorial, as they have for hundreds of other veterans just like him.
I'm ready.
Ready to pay tribute to his fallen comrades and return to enjoy a revitalized home sweet home. In North Austin, Jeff Stensland, Spectrum News. Christopher Sherman's made a name for himself in the drone photography business.
Being a regular pilot, I enjoy being in the air, so this kind of gives me the best of both worlds.
But a new law that took effect this month makes some shots much more difficult to get. He shot this video over DKR Texas Memorial Stadium with UT's permission. State law now says no to this, as well as drones over all prisons, jails, and ICE detention centers.
Most of them are common sense. Some of them with regards to, over an empty stadium, I'm not sure quite why that's an issue.
Republican State Representative Paul Workman says the concern was explosives and other contraband that could be brought into those facilities, especially when it comes to jails.
It's primarily having to do with contraband, not being able to drop, drugs and weapons and such inside the compound.
State rules already banned drones over power plants, water treatment facilities, and other infrastructure. Sherman says most days he sticks to his comfort zone here in Austin. Occasionally he'll take jobs in Temple or San Antonio, but first he has to check the local rules. And he says there's no database that tracks any of those.
You can't just take a job without understanding the state and local ramifications. That's cumbersome work.
Breaking the new law comes with a $2,000 fine and a Class B misdemeanor. Workman hopes that's enough to deter potential offenders.
I wouldn't want to do it any more than that, at least not now, and let's see how it goes.
Tweaking laws over a relatively new industry, but still allowing operators to get the views that people will remember. Jeff Stensland, Capital Tonight.